Hello, I'm Dr. Karen Heltz, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Apple Report. Isn't it interesting that we're coming out of 2020? Because today I'd like to talk about where do we go from here, moving forward in education. Well, 2020 means we have hindsight, which means we have perfect vision, right? 2020 is known as perfect vision. And so, therefore, looking back on the positives and the negatives that we've discussed in previous episodes, where do we go from here in the world of education? Well, that's a good question because there is no clear answer. Unfortunately, 2020 does not equate to perfect vision in this scenario, or in this case, I don't think. I think some things that we do need to grapple with for moving forward are legislation. How are we going to marry legislation to expanding opportunities for parents and their children when it comes to the educational environment that they choose? Another area that I think we need to grapple with, and there's been a lot of news recently about unions. The teachers union, the NEA, the National Education Association, along with the American Federation of Teachers, AFT, are not real receptive to putting teachers back in the classroom. Now, I think we've moved past the critical stage in most cases with regards to dealing with COVID-19, yet the unions are pretty much telling teachers, don't go back into the classroom. I think this is a real shame. This is definitely a point in time where I think unions have outlived their usefulness. They were a good thing back in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s when workspace or work environments were dangerous. There were safety issues, especially in the world of manufacturing. But classrooms, I don't think really have a safety issue anymore. And unions pretty much negotiate for increased pay and increased benefits. Well, what do increased pay and increased benefits, what do they really do? They increase the goods and services to the consumer, to you and me. So we need to really rethink what unions are doing to the education system. And we need to come up with solutions that subvert or negate the negative impact that unions are having on our children's education. Again, legislation is at the forefront, and if legislation is a way to combat the negative impact that unions are doing, then I pray that we have legislators who have the courage of their convictions to hold unions accountable. I think the last thing I'd like to talk about with regards to moving forward is rethinking opportunities. As previously mentioned, education pods are something new that have come out of this 2020 experiment with regards to education and locking down schools, et cetera, and it's not okay to stop the education of our youth. It's not okay to force them into an environment that is not conducive to certain children's learning styles. Yes, there are some children who learn very well online. They are self-motivated. They catch on quickly with regards to doing online courses, but there are many, many millions of children out there who do not. And I think education pods is a way of confronting. To me, it's kind of a commingling of homeschooling and private schooling. And but it's small groups, and parents have more control with regards to who they're hiring to educate their children and what the curriculum is with regards to ensuring that their children not just meet these standards, but also are getting that quality education. I find quality education continues to decrease over the decades, and I don't think I'm alone in thinking that. And I would say that parents are much more attuned to what their children are being taught coming out of 2020 into 2021. And I don't think that that genie will go back into the bottle. I think that some light has been shed, some transparency has occurred, and I don't think we're going to go backwards on this one. So, what opportunities are there? The education pods are one. More opportunities with regards to looking at a thing that I really think is very critical to the future of our education is the apprenticeships and the internships. Collaborating with local businesses in order to allow students who have an interest in career and technical education and allowing them to obtain the skills that they need through on-the-job training as well as the classroom environment. So I think there's some expansion with regards to that. I think there might even be opportunity with regards to cross-division collaboration. I think that this desire for each school division to have everything under its umbrella is not feasible. It has become economically very detrimental. And so I think that the regional opportunities by school divisions coming together are some opportunities that hopefully will expand as we move forward into 2021. I know that I will be pushing for some of these things, and I hope that you will too. So thank you for listening. I ask you to please like and share, and I will speak to you next week we're going to delve into charter schools and the war on charter schools with regards to the current administration. So again, thank you and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.